I just want to say it is almost horrifying to watch the reaction of some of these Cowboys fans. Y'all act like y'all lost a loved one.
Watch only at the ice anytime on demand and on Paramount Plus.
What you doing?
At Fidelity, the dedicated advisor will help you create
I'm leaving. 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 Leaven. Leaving.
It's a fight.
I'm gonna need this.
Sophia Bush is concerned. Wednesday,
I'm gonna come back for the rest.
Stops and five-star restaurants. If 5 stars aren't enough, you found one more. Wrap it up in one of our state parks. Explore our uncommon history.
Wait, hold on. Let me open that garbage can for you. Let me open it.
Anything you want to say?
2027. 5-year interest-free finance company. 5-year interest-free financing on anything starting at $5.99. 5-year interest-free financing. The best way to buy furniture. The Wolfstone New Year's sale ends this holiday Monday.
Download the WWL TV app for your Roku.
Her family and 4 others covered by the Nazi after more than 2 years in hiding. Oh, well, this
Nah. Hey. Goodbye.
Chill out. I done seen videos where one dude shot the TV. Not only did he knock it off the wall, Benny, he popped 4 rounds in the TV. Then there was one with the dude throwing the TV out the door. Then there was another one where the wife got up and the husband was going at her like, I'm gonna get her. Calm down. No, y'all gonna have the same experience next year. See what makes it so bad, Sabrina, and how they get their stuff going, because they always predict they were going to the Super Bowl. If y'all just stop doing those predictions and just let the season ride out, you wouldn't be so disappointed at the end. Y'all need to chill out. Yes, we still talking about it because we just giving y'all a taste of y'all own medicine when y'all be winning, how y'all won't shut up. But it's not that serious to be shooting TVs and throwing the TV out the door.
I told Gwen people shooting TVs and all that. She showed me that video. I'm like, that dude had other problems. People that have problems like that.
He bust 4 rounds in the TV, Sabrina.
They don't need to watch no sports.
Smashed it and threw it on the floor.
Nope.
So our last word is calm down. Y'all gonna have next year to experience the same thing, but this time don't say we going to the Super Bowl, because that's where all the pain comes in. Just say we gonna win our division, if y'all even do that. But just go take a, what's the word? Don't go for the gusto. Just take a lower, just say we gonna make it into the playoffs.
Calm down. Right. Calm down and sit down and bring it down a little bit.
Sit down somewhere. Sabrina, hit him with it, baby.
Sit down.
So I got a little bit of feedback, mostly from my family. Because I don't know if I told y'all this, but my mom's side, we're very mixed. Everybody's represented on that side.
Mixed as in ethnicity?
Cultures. We have everybody. We got Filipino, Asian, Caucasian, Hispanic, some of everybody. So long story short, somebody that doesn't even have the nerve to even say, you should say my name, was like, how could you always jumping on it's unfair about the Black quarterbacks and I just think they were bad coaches. But you have to look at the situations they were put in. That's all I'm saying.
You have to look at the totality of
the situation. We all knew that the dude that left the Ravens and went to the Texans was a fall guy. Let me just give you a little background. Deshaun had already left. He didn't have a quarterback. Hopkins had already left. JJ had already, the leader of the defense had already left. Hopkins already left, telling everybody it was a bad racist environment. So it was just bad. They expected him to do a 180 inside of 6 months. It wasn't going to happen. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the situations they're sometimes put in. Tomlin was a rarity because the Steelers have always been, you know, they've always been a winning franchise, and the family that owns the team is, you know, very, what's the word, proactive and, you know, rights and, you know, blending and all that stuff. So he was placed in a, what's the word, fertile ground, you know, where he could grow and move around. And thrive. The other ones were not. The Jets has been in the slumps since Namath, Joe Namath in the 70s. And I told you about, you know, Hopkins. So, you know, even though they were just two coaches that got fired, were they the only two that got fired except for Urban Meyer? Yes, right?
No, the Giants coach too, right?
Okay, but he deserved it. He had it before a minute, but I'm just saying, to me, Brian will probably be put somewhere else. Let's just do a positive on this. Brian showed enough football IQ. He has a high enough football IQ without ever playing football to be placed somewhere as a head coach.
I think this game was a vital game in so many ways. I think Josh Allen's going to get royally paid if he hasn't already.
They got a street name after that dude in Buffalo already.
See what I'm saying? The kickers have solidified how literally important they are. If anybody had any doubt, they solidified that.
And let me just wrap it up, bring it the other 180 for you. I'm not saying because you're Black, you should be getting a chance. The most qualified person should be given a chance. I've always believed in that. The most qualified person, but the skill set to deal with. Because let me holler at you. Go back to another thing somebody brought up too. AB. The thing I learned last week was, who's their coach?
The coach of the Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks.
Arians. Bruce Arians.
Arians did not want AB. That was a Tom Brady owner decision.
Yes.
So Arians was already hands off with him.
Yes.
And somebody was like, Gwen, you have to take in all this totality of the conversation that they had. If he told him, blank, you get off the field, and you know, I already know you don't like me. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning what he did. I think he was totally out of line. But I can understand just a little bit more. And I'm not taking up for him because I think he's a talented player. He just has a character, you know, flaw, but I can see a little bit more. So then that also the head coach needs to be able to get along. Now you ain't gonna be able to please 52 people, right? But you should have a skill set to deal with them. That's all I'm saying. Like, you got to have a skill set and be a people person. But sometimes they get fired. So this is the other half of that, because I just answered my own thing. Sometimes they get fired for being too much of a people person, because my a good friend of mine who does football said that's why Tony got fired, because he was too much for
Tony
the player.
Dungy?
Yes. Mm-hmm. We were talking about it last week. He was too much on the player side. So
well,
that could be
and what's funny is Bruce Arians, the coach of the Bucks. They say that he is like a player's coach. They say that, but
he couldn't stand AB. He didn't want him to come in.
And we didn't talk about this. He was in the news last week or the week before, within the last 2 weeks, because the Bucks and whoever they were playing at that time was like got into like a little scuffle or whatever during the playoffs. And one of the players on the Bucks was getting ready to jump in, like get into it or go towards it. And Bruce Arians came off the sidelines and busted the dude upside his helmet. He was like, get out of here, like that. Now, he said he was doing it to like keep him from getting a penalty that would have cost him or whatever. But if you had seen the way he busted him upside his head, you don't do that to no grown man, and you a grown man.
They were playing the Eagles in that game.
That's who it was. You don't do that. And I feel like that kind of showed a little bit who he was. I appreciate that you're a player's coach. I appreciate that your players like you and all that. But between him busting that dude upside his head like that and the way he handled AB, I think that's kind of revealing just a little bit. I don't know.
A little bit. And they get frustrated. They get tired because don't nobody, like even in my house, you know, I don't want nobody bucking my authority. This is my house, you know, but at the same time, ultimately it's going to be my decision. But I do keep an ear open for them to have a platform respect. But just if they start with a this is how I feel, or this is my feelings, or you have to stop and go, okay, just let me hear them out. I don't have to agree, but I gotta at least hear them out. So I say all that to say a head coaching job is more just winning games. And I wish they would give them an opportunity to showcase their talent. And some have failed, but at least they had the opportunity.
So what do you think are the good characteristics or qualities of a good head coach?
I think you need to be open-minded. You need to be transparent. You need to have broad vocabulary. So instead of cussing or using demeaning words, you can go inside yourself and find words that mean the same with a synonym. You know what I'm saying? I think you have to have a high football IQ. And the thing that I like, I just have to say it, offensive coaches tend to do better as head coaches. If you ask me, because look at, because Big Boy Reed was one, right? And Cal was one. And McFleur was the quarterback coach, which why you would think him and the liar would get along better or have an understanding.
Stop calling that man that.
He is, but we all have. You're right. Him and Ern would have gotten along better because he was a quarterback coach. I just think the head coaches that come from the offensive side tend to do better. Okay. Have a mind for the offense. Be willing to listen to others. It can't be my way or the highway. You can't have that mentality. But then also when you're dealing with 52 divas, okay, 51 because the kicker usually ain't a diva. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do offensive minded, transparent, strong vocabulary, communication skills, and able to make sound judgments and be able to stand behind them whether you make a mistake or not. Okay. Like call it. Own it. Right.
Okay, for me, what are my characteristics? I feel like you have to be someone who leads by example.
Okay,
you have to lead by example. You can't tell your players do this or do that, and you don't do it.
You can't tell them to win and go back home while you stay behind shaking the leg in the club with all the little hoochie mamas in there.
So you have to lead by example. You have to be worthy of respect. You have to earn their respect.
That's true.
I think you have to be innovative. You can't be set in your ways like Harbaugh was with the Ravens with them 2-point conversions.
Man.
You have to be willing to change and adapt. I think for me, those are the biggest things. And of course, you have to know the game and know the playbook and all that, of course.
Some people tell me about some music. I'm surprised to be so how do they know with the stuff they be doing? Something I don't know. But let me just segue back to what you said. What kind of retaliation you think the owners of the Ravens done did in the job? Let me holler at you. He was always a risk taker, but he went over the line last season. So do you think he'll be, kind of like second guessing himself because there are instances where you should do what he did, but those two were not.
Those two were not those times.
You should have kicked the extra point. But do you think he's going to change?
Do you think Harbaugh? Are you asking me? Do I think Harbaugh?
I'm asking you. One, do you think the owner said something to him? And doing that, do you think he's going to second guess himself from now on because he caused them a playoff run?
Oh, I think the owner and him definitely had a conversation about it. And I think that I think this was humbling for him. Enough so that I think he's not going to do something stupid like that again.
Because there are instances where you should go for two.
Absolutely. But those were not
the two. I'm sorry. I'm Gwen.
I'm Sabrina.
Have a blessed, safe week. Stay safe, stay blessed, love someone, and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Bye.
Bye-bye.